What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the walkthrough. Hope you're having a great day so far. So in this episode, we're pretty much going to knock out the rest of Lower Caelid, save for the Red Main Castle area. So pretty much all that's going to be left is the Upper Dragon Barrow area after this. We might be able to knock that out in one episode, maybe two more episodes. We'll see. But for starters, I actually have to go back and pick up a piece of loot that I missed in the last episode, despite the fact that it's literally staring me right in the face. When you open this up, I missed this chest right here, this treasure chest with the rune arc in it. So yeah, I just wanted to take care of that real quick. So to start things off with this episode properly, we're going to be going to the Sellia Crystal Tunnel. I was warped here before because I took the trap chest in Limgrave, and so I already have this Site of Grace, so I'm going to warp to it. If you don't already have this Site of Grace, it's pretty easy to get to. You see where it is relative to the Sellia under stair Site of Grace. It's pretty much just directly northwest of it. You'll find this cave right there. So we're going to take this place out. It is actually a mining cave, so I'm going to use my big bonk, and we'll have ourselves a good time. So this is kind of a reverse cave where you start at the bottom and you work your way to the top. And of course, there's a lot of, you know, mining type folks in here, so we'll be taking these guys out. Fortunately, our hammer makes quick work of them. Any blunt weapon will work against them, though. I just choose to use the hammer because I've been using it for pretty much the whole game in these cave type levels. Got that guy trying to snipe me with his spider web nonsense. There we go. Pick up this loot. There's another one up there trying to get me. Make sure you pick up the all the shards on the ground, of which there are many. That's actually our path forward, but we can't access that except from above. I'm gonna take this guy out. There we go. Okay. So when you are warped here via the trap chest, this is where you start out. That's why I already have what was inside this treasure chest. But all the way at the top, there is a thing. Got ourselves a rune arc. Not gonna miss the rune arc in this tunnel. And there is another just cracked crystals down here, which is going to take me back to the bottom, but that's fine. Actually, I think I can hop right over. I already got the loot down there, so I don't need to drop all the way down again. So I'm just going to hop right back over here. And then we need to get on top of this roof. Jump over here. And here's how we get into this spot. However, there is another... You see that piece of loot up there, so... Ah, I missed the jump. I don't know if there's... Is there... Yes, there is a... There's a way around later. Oh, just got drilled. Yeah, this is the bigger variety of these enemies. Takes more than one hit. All right. Go up this ladder. There's something back here. Somber 4. We got plenty of those by now. Here we got the rock blaster. Nice, he came down. That makes it easier. I don't have to fight him on the roof now. Okay, so we can kick this down, and that functions as a shortcut. I believe this is the path to the boss, so I'm not going to do this quite yet. Because there is some stuff back there that we want. We did get our shortcut. Get the gold rune. Okay, I'm going to see... let's see. Where is that rooftop that I was trying to get? There it is. I wonder if I can just drop down on top of it. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it, actually, because you can drop right down on this platform and then walk over to it. Just some cuckoo glintstones. Let's loop back around. This stuff. Okay, that's all of it. Again, we kick that ladder down. So if you fall down here, you don't have to go all the way around like we did. You can just go up this ladder, and it functions as a nice little shortcut. All right, so... Oops, missed. Another somber 4. These guys have their back turned to us. It's a good opportunity to sneak attack one of them. And this gets you the Faithful's Canvas Talisman. I believe that boosts incantations. All right, got a smithing 5. And this is going to take us to the boss, which is another falling star beast. This is probably the easiest of all of them, though. So I'm going to throw on my regular weapon here because I don't believe he's weak to blunt damage. So I am going to pop my Physic Flask and summon as soon as I get inside the room. Oh, this door animation. I hope this door animation doesn't lock me out of summoning because it's... That was close. Yeah, that was really close because the door animation counts against my ability to use the infinite FP effect I had in my flask. Okay, you see we're doing pretty massive damage to this thing. And it is a smaller arena than the other ones we fought. So it's not as able to get as far away, which is nice because you don't spend as much time chasing this one down as you do the others. He doesn't hit as hard either. All right, so we got ourselves a Somber 6, Smithing 7, Gravity Stone Chunk, and the Somber Stone Miner's Bell Bearing. So lots of goodies to be had. And I'm actually going to use this as an opportunity to warp back to Roundtable because we have a bunch of these bell bearings to hand in to the merchant there. And I think Roger will be gone. I think. Not quite yet. I wonder if I rest if he'll be gone. Eventually, he passes away and you get all of his stuff. Nope, he's still hanging in there. That's fine. Let's see. So the maidens are going to be this way. So we can offer the Blackguard's bell bearing. That's for the boiled prawns. And so let's see. Yep, we can do this. We can buy the boiled prawns at will. I don't have any of these. I guess I'll pick some up just in case I want to pop them for extra defense. And you can see now we have access to purchase smithing stones 1 through 6 and then sombers 1 through 4. I'm actually going to buy these rune arcs. Just because I'm using them more now. And I'll get the memory stone. Why not? Even though I'm not a caster. Just pick up all the goodies. Let's see here. Okay, I think that is it. Actually, see if I can upgrade weapons.
Well, I took you for no matter to lay out your arm.
So let's see if I can strengthen my hammer, because we're going to be using our hammer in a cave later on in this episode as well. So it will never hurt. Let's see. No, I need 8s for this one now, so I did get one more level out of it. Let's see what I can do with my katana. Nope, not enough for the katana. That's fine. All right, so we're done in here, and we are going to go back to Caelid now. We're going to warp to the Sellia warp point here, and we're basically going to make a giant loop around this poison swamp now. All right, so we're going to start up here. There's a wandering scarab. Kind of around here is a rune arc. And then around here-ish is an invasion. And then here is a boss that we're going to fight. So that's going to be kind of our initial path through here. I didn't realize I already had that Site of Grace in the swamp, but this'll still work. So here's our scarab. This is another one of the invisible ones that kind of wanders around and is annoying to hit. Hopefully I'll get it before too long. This one comes down and then it loops back around. Oh, no, it comes back around in a minute. And this one follows a very weird path. Oh, I missed it. Dang it. So I know it crosses over here first. There we go. Got it. Poison armament. Ash of War. Allows you to throw poison on your weapon. There's our rune arc. So next, we can actually get invaded by Millicent. We have not met Millicent yet, but she will invade us down here. And it doesn't negatively impact her quest at all. But, I mean, you get some stuff for doing the invasion, so why not? But yeah, if this impacted her quest, I would not be doing it. Because her quest is, you know, it's optional, but it is important. And we have these clean rot knights down here, and it's especially important if you have the frenzied flame right now and you want to get rid of it, you have to do her quest basically. So as soon as she invades, yeah, I'll get kicked off my horse. And of course we got rot down here. All right, where is she? There she is. I want to... that clean rot knight saw me. Hopefully this will keep me out of harm's way for the most part. Pretty easy. All right, for that we get a Sacramental Bud, Gold Rune 3 and 5 and 10. This clean rot knight. All right. And the boss is going to be over here. And killing this boss is what's going to give us our gold needle that we need for Millicent's side quest. So this guy, he pulls out a bunch of summons. But I mainly just ignore the summons. And he's got, of course, as with everybody else in this region, has a bunch of Scarlet Rot type attacks. Oh, he got me there. He's got some AoEs, and those AoEs oftentimes do have Scarlet Rot attached to him. You can fight him off horseback too. Whatever floats your boat. Oh, he keeps on canceling my attacks though. Oh, there's his AoE. Get away from that. There we go. May have gotten too greedy there. He's summoning more folks, which of course you can punish while he's doing that because he's basically standing still. And that is that. And of course you can do that whole fight on horseback too if you'd like. Just wanted to switch things up. So we get the Commander's Standard and the unalloyed gold needle. You'll notice it's cracked and kind of broken. But anyhow, touch the grace here. That is not... That's kind of weird. That's not where the grace... What, like, the animation there was kind of screwed up. Yeah, it thinks it's... The game thinks it's, like, over here, but it's... Yeah, it's not. Alrighty, so where we're headed next, there's going to be another Ash of War kind of, like, over here. There's going to be a couple items down here. Let's see. There's going to be some, like... There's going to be a rune arc and stuff over here. There's going to be another... pickup over here and an Ash of War, another Ash of War over here. So we'll just kind of make a giant loop around here. And as I said, we're going to clear out the swamp and all of southern Caelid in this episode for the most part. Now, these are giant dragonfly enemies. I'm just concerned about the scarab here. And I think this is one of the ones that blows up after you kill it. Yeah, so kill it and back away. And you get the Sacred Ring of Light. That's pretty much the attack that the Clean Rot Knights, is the projectile that they shoot at you. Okay, so now we got that. We're going to head kind of southish here. There's a couple loose items we can pick up. And again, always traverse these areas on horseback because this is your Scarlet Rot is going to build up unless you're on horseback. So over here is where the other items that I pointed out are. These dudes chilling. Got a rune arc, a sacramental bud, and smithing stones. And the sacramental buds that we keep picking up, these are the items that you use for crafting that you can use to craft the Scarlet Rot boluses or whatever they're called that heal the Scarlet Rot. Let's see. Can't remember if the item is up top or if it's down below. I'm pretty sure it's actually down below in this. Nope, it's right here. Crab eggs. I don't know if I want to make that drop. Okay, so next spot is in the swamp. It's our Ash of War. I'll drop from right here. And then it's pretty much straight ahead. Actually, there's another item. I don't have this one marked off. In fact, I'm gonna mark it off right now. It's like around here. I ran out of beacons to place. So since this next one is actually up top as well, it makes sense to get this one first before dropping back down to get that Ash of War. So it's like there's a couple gold runes up here. This one, and then there's one on top. Whatever this thing is. It's like a giant barnacle or something. There should be one on the top. Here we go. Go. All right, drop back down. And now it's time for our Ash of War. Hop down on these branches. Little shortcut. Ignore these guys. Not worth killing them, in my opinion. Here's our Ash of War. All right. Poisonous Mist. I'm going to go ahead and use this as an opportunity to take out the beacon. Okay. So next, there's a Site of Grace over here. And then there's like a giant ruins that's kind of in this vicinity. And then once we get all this stuff, that's pretty much it for the swamp. See that Site of Grace right ahead of us. Rest up if you need to. There's actually a little ghost over here who says a thing. Let me see it, if only one last time, your splendid blade dancing amongst the scarlet rot. He's actually referring to Melania. And that, the what's he say? Dancing, the splendid blade dancing amongst the scarlet rot. Yeah, we're going to see, when we encounter Melania later, we'll see what he means by her blade dancing and whatnot. Let's see. There is some loot over here. The meteorite staff, which is actually very good for gravity spells. I believe that's the staff that gives you the boost for gravity-based spells. Let's see. There's another. There we go. Oops. I want to get off my horse to come down here. Okay, got Rock Sling. Speaking of gravity spells. Whoop. Hey there. And then from here, I want to head basically south. Where is... There's one more thing I need to pick up. And it's a armor set. There it is. And a perfume bottle. All right, I got this beacon over here that I kind of want to get rid of. Is it all the way up there? I can't. It's actually nighttime outside, which is why the music changed. So I'm going to use the Site of Grace over here that we unlocked to change the time. Yep, put it to morning time. Don't want to be caught off guard in these parts at night. There's actually one more item over here. It's like really tucked away. It's a sacramental bud. But I got distracted. I heard the music change, and I just wanted to get it back to daylight, so. And I wanted to get rid of that stray beacon I had on my map. So, on the very, very, very edge, next to these flowers, we got another little shiny over here. Sacramental bud. I'm just going to circle around until the aggro's off me. We got a giant cerulean scarab. We don't need flasks right now, so I'm not even going to worry about it. So way earlier in the playthrough, we went down here to get our Somber 5. That pathway dead ends, and there's a Somber 5 at the end if you haven't picked it up. For now, we're going to warp back here, and we're going to talk to our friend Gowry, because we found that golden needle that he wanted us to find. So I think the closest way to get to him is via this side of Grace, and then just kind of cut through the town. Oh, getting sniped. And I'm going to take out this dog over here just so he doesn't interrupt me while I'm trying to talk. Okay. So this is going to advance Millicent's side quest.
Oh, you found the unalloyed gold needle. As promised, I've detailed the secret of Sellia it's yours. Now let me have a look at the needle. Well, this is a marvel indeed. The work of a true artisan, a meticulous, bold craftsman who grasps the essence of life. Can you give me some time with this? As well made as it is, it won't be much use snapped in half, will it? Can you give me as well made?
Okay, so he gave us the Sellia secret, which is actually not news to us. It says there are 3 flames atop the candle towers. Break the seal. We've already done all that. So anyway, I think you can just quit out here and then reload, and then the needle will be ready. If not, we're going to have to warp somewhere and rest, which sadly there's not a convenient site of grace right next to him. But I think this should work.
I have awaited your return. The needle is repaired. Now it will forestall the rotting sickness, I'm sure. Will you give it to the girl, Millicent? I will reward you in kind.
All right, so we get the fixed unalloyed gold needle.
Millicent rests at the church atop the cliff beyond Sellia, the town yonder, tended to by the witless pests who worship her, or rather her rotting sickness, as a god. A wretched fate, indeed. The poor girl, she never wished for any of this. Do you find it that I would show such concern? Well, I'm the one that found her. A mere babe in the swamp of Aeonia. She is one of my dear daughters. But the rotting sickness erodes one's memory. I doubt that she remembers the first thing about me. Oh, I must be getting old. I didn't always worry so much. Now, all she's convalescent.
Okay. So where he's talking about is we get to there through the town. It's actually a passageway that was previously blocked by one of those seals that we unlocked by lighting the torches up top. But we haven't gone down that path yet, so now is the time for us to do so. So here's where we got the gold seed earlier, and then through here, this was previously blocked off. And this leads to a path that we have yet to go down. Go this way. There's a couple traps on the way, including some skeletons that are going to come out of the ground here. Kind of take this windy path up the mountain. We got some of these balls that summon in. I think there's going to be one more up here. So we're basically, where we're headed right there, that's the church that Millicent is at. Another ball, kind of just run sideways, you'll dodge it. Or should dodge it at least. Okay, so here's our destination. And there are a bunch of sacramental buds around here, so pick them up. Get the grace. And we got a sacred tear. I believe we can now level up our flask to have one more usage. One more charge, yep. And that puts our flask at maximum number of charges. And so now we can also increase the amount replenished by using the sacred tear. And here is Millicent. So we are going to help her out and get her questline going.
Who's there? Well, it matters not. If you are wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with scarlet rot. It is a curse. Not to be meddled with by man.
Okay, we can give her the unalloyed gold needle.
I stab myself with the needle to quell the scarlet rot. But how? Never mind. I've decided I would rather trust you than simply continue to spoil from within. Would you mind averting your eyes for a moment? Well, that was easier than expected. But why do I feel so?
Okay, so she kind of passes out. Then you have to rest. And now she's fine.
I hoped to see you again. My apologies for when last we met. I fainted before I could even thank you. Everything is as you said. Since inserting the needle, the scarlet rot has ceased to writhe. Even the nightmares have abated. And now, though I can scarcely believe it myself, I can move as I please. Not that I could ever truly repay you, but I would like you to have this, by way of thanks. A token though it is.
All right, we get the prosthesis wearer heirloom. That's a +5 bonus to your dexterity if you equip that talisman.
I'm considering with the needle buried in my flesh. I've started to recall, but dimly, my destiny. It's all thanks to you. My name is Millicent. I pray fate permits us meet again.
All right, so rest again, and then she should move on to her next spot. There we go. She's gone. There are some more sacramental buds out here, in case you want them. As I said, there are a ton of them around here. And when you rest, I do not believe that these replenish. I think once they're gone, they're gone. All right, over here, we're going to get a starlight shard right next to the church. There's just a couple other crafting things. That's a hint to a catacombs for later. You do not need that hint to get to the catacombs by any stretch. Giant octopus in here. All right. So, where we are headed next is going to be kind of on this path. Head down this way. There's going to be a bunch of the bat enemies down here. Each one that you kill, each one of these white ones, I should say, that you kill, because there's the white ones are more powerful. And they each drop a gold rune 9. There's like 5 or 6 of them around here. Back here, got some drawstring poison grease. And there are some regular bats kind of hanging out too, but for whatever reason, these ones are not singing like the other white bats would sing previously. These ones are quiet, but they still drop the runes. All right. And there's a rune up here as well. Okay, you might remember from earlier there was a troll that was throwing exploding magic pots on us from above. This is that troll. We'll take him out. It's not really any particular reason to do that, but because I think he respawns anyways. Maybe he doesn't respawn. I'm not actually quite sure on that. All right, bunch of demi-humans. Don't really need to pay mind to them. Through here's a couple items. And some magic. Some mages. No need to fight these people. Let's run straight on through. And this puts us on our path. And by the way, if you drop down, that's the shack. That's Gowry's shack down there. We're actually going to be heading back there in just a minute. And here is a Bloodhound Knight. Which leads us to the Eternal Darkness spell. So if you have the stats to use this, basically what it does is it functions as kind of like a black hole for mages. So when mages are trying to shoot you with their magic, it basically absorbs the spell, so it doesn't hit you. All right, there's a spot around here with tombstones that you can drop down on. Let's see. Here we go. So I can get back down to Gowry's shack. As per our usual ritual, take out this dog. And instead of Gowry in here, we have Millicent. So let's talk to her.
Oh, hello again. Something about this place felt familiar to me, so I decided to pay a visit. Hoping to find someone here, but I've only found emptiness. Perhaps before my departure, I needed someone to say farewell to. Well, never mind that. I must focus on my journey, for which I have you to thank. I must stay strong. Well, I must.
Okay, so once you exhaust her dialogue, quit and reload, and then she'll be gone, and Gowry will be back. So she kind of travels along different areas of the world. So we got to chase her down and follow her quest to get her to her ultimate spot.
Thank you kindly for giving the needle to Millicent. Now she too can begin her journey and stare her fate straight in the eye. You've been a saint through and through. As thanks, I vow to impart to you my knowledge of the lost sorceries of the Sellians, descendants of the Eternal.
Okay, so we can study his sorceries. Nothing here that I'm going to buy.
Oh, you noticed, did you? Indeed, Millicent did visit this hovel of a home. It seems the memories eaten away by the rotting sickness yet remain, but faintly. However, she has no need of me anymore. No, she must embark on her journey and stare her fate in the eye. I mustn't impede. As I've aged, I've found the best way to aid the young is to be forgotten. Please make certain that, like her mother, she has the stuff to be a great warrior, but commands only one arm and is yet preciously young.
Okay. That's all for him. So what we're going to do now is we're going to warp back up here, and we're going to head kind of in this direction. This is going to be the last dungeon, I think, in Lower Caelid, save for Castle Redmane, which of course we're going to save for this is going to be the last thing that we do in Caelid. So we're going to knock this out. That will take care of Lower Caelid. And then in the next episode, we're going to get working on Upper Caelid. Then once we're done with all of that, we'll take on Castle Redmane and take out the boss. So let us warp back to the Church of the Plague. That's going to be our starting point. And this is a very, very hidden dungeon. This is actually related to Sellen's quest line. If you remember, okay, before we go to this cave, one thing I want to point out is we've already done part of Sellen's quest line. Just a quick recap here. So over here, Mount Gelmir, right here, this is the site of grace for primeval sorcerer Azur. We talked to him and he gave us the Comet Azur spell. Now we went back to Sellen. We talked to her here at the Waypoint Ruins. And after telling her that we received Comet Azur, she gave us a key. The key that we have is Sellian Seal Breaker right here. It's a glintstone key received from Sorceress Sellen, capable of breaking the seal that keeps Master Lusat confined. So she gave us this key, told us to find Master Lusat. So the cave where we're going now is the cave where Master Lusat resides. So make sure that you have this key before you go here. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do everything that we do in here. You're going to have to come back later. And this is part of Sellen's quest line. And one thing that I do want to point out is that Master Lusat gives you a legendary sorcery. So if you want the trophy for all legendary sorcery incantation trophy, you're going to have to go in here and do this. So it is required for the trophy. Just want to point that out, just so you know, just so it's clear. You got to do this for the trophy if you're going for the trophy. So over here, that's a jump that'll take you to the upper level of Caelid. But what we want to do now is right here, this rock. You'd never guess it, but it's an illusory wall. And that takes us to this cave that we're going in now. So very well hidden. There's been a couple hits that say, hey, near Sellia, which is the town that we were at down here, there's a hidden cave. I mean, very, very vague hints that point to this place. But this is where it's at. And this is where Master Lusat is at as well. So we want to find him as part of Sellen's side quest. And we also want to find him because he gives us a legendary sorcery. So just want to make sure everyone's on the same page here. This is actually another kind of a cave that has enemies that are weak to blunt damage, including the boss. So I'm going to throw on my hammer here. And we'll go about it this way. So this is a bit of a, I don't want to say, it's not as confusing as some of the other tunnels we've been down, but it does have a couple tricky spots if you want to get all the loot. There's some easy to miss loot if you don't know where you're going. So I'm of course going to lead you to all that stuff so you don't have to worry about it. But if you're going this alone, if you're doing it blind, there's most likely some stuff that you'd miss. We're going to cover it all. So first things first, this is an illusory wall. You actually have to go through here to progress. Otherwise, that is just straight up a dead end. And we have another illusory wall. And this takes us to the main part of the cave. So down there is one of those Royal Revenant enemies that I absolutely hate. I'm going to take a couple cheap shots on him to make him weaker for when we actually get down to him, because these guys are one of my least favorite enemies of the game. I'm going to leave him alive just as a reference point, because I want you to see just kind of, he's going to, when we get to his area of the level, I want you to see, okay, this is how we got there. Because we're not going to drop down there yet, because there are a couple points of this level where you can drop down, and this just wraps us back around to the beginning where we just were. There's a couple parts of this dungeon where you can drop down, and there's one further down that when we drop down further down, we'll actually be able to connect to this drop down area. However, if you drop down here first, you can't connect to the drop down area that's further down, and that'll make more sense kind of when we get there. Just jump across this gap. There's a couple of these snail enemies that I think are made out of stone, basically. So our hammer does extra damage to them because they're weak to blunt. That's actually a spot we're gonna circle around, and we're gonna find our way back here after we do the lower levels as well. So kind of hug this wall. A couple enemies over here. And some loot that we're going to pick up. Hop across this gap. So this is where we're going to drop down. And you'll see what I mean by like these lower areas are kind of segmented. So drop down on this giant crystal and then turn around. Don't go up this crystal, because if you go up and drop over on this side, this takes you back to where the Revenant was. I kind of shot him a couple times with my bow earlier. But if we go this way, this is where Lusat is. And this barrier you will not be able to cross unless you got that key from Sellia that I mentioned a couple minutes ago. So we have the key, so we can break this barrier. We use the Sellian seal breaker, and this takes us to Lusat, which if you talk to him, he's going to kind of open up his hand. He's going to give us a sorcery. So now that we've seen him, we can report back to Sellia. We're actually not going to continue with Sellia's side quest until after we beat the boss of Caelid, General Radon. But this is something that will progress her quest line, because we did talk to Lusat. That's something that she asked us to do. So let's check out the spell we just got. It is Stars of Ruin, legendary sorcery, as I said. So this counts towards the trophy for all legendary sorceries. So make sure you get this if you're going for all achievements. So we're going to make our way back to that giant crystal. As I said, this connects to the spot where the Revenant, Royal Revenant is. So we hop over here, and this drops us down to that first kind of lower area. And as I said, if you drop to this first lower area first, you can't get to this side, but you can go from this side to that side, but not vice versa. So let him finish his attack. I'm just going to bonk him, take out the last bit of his HP. So you'll see that we can't go back over here from here. So that's why we did the further drop down point first. All right, got a few items over here. And then we want to head back to where we came from. And there's going to be a little path off to the side that we can hop up. So as I said, a little bit difficult to navigate, but if you know exactly where you're going, it's not too bad. All right, got a Somber 4, and then you can hop on this crystal, and then this takes you back to that upper level where we've already explored this. So you remember we kind of hugged around here, and one of these enemies dropped something that I didn't pick up. Got the Digger's Staff. So over here, we made this jump before. And then this is where we drop down to get to Master Lusat. But instead of dropping down again, we're going to move forward. So when we get to this room right here, the main progression route to the boss is down. But first, we're going to kind of hop over here and take this upper route. There's a secret little drop-off that we're going to hit up. So drop here. Drop onto this crystal. And I don't think there's anything behind there, but you might want to look behind you when you make that first drop, because I don't think I missed something, but there may be something back there. Anyway, it's not important, even if there is. So drop down here. And then drop down here, and there's a treasure chest. Before you open up the treasure chest, there's 3 mages over here that are going to give you a hard time. So take them out first. Okay. Now we can open up the treasure chest in peace. So we got the crystalline ashes. Basically, we fought them as bosses several times by now. But now you can summon one of your own if you'd like. And this takes us kind of to the bottom. If we wanted to go that way, that's the boss. But there's a couple pieces of loot. We backtrack just a bit. So if we had gone down when we first had walked into that room where I told you to stay up and take the secret kind of upper path, if we had stayed down, this is where we would come out. There is an item right here, though. We'll pick up the crystal darts. We actually need to head up just a bit because there is another item up here and an illusory wall. And a couple of these crystal snails that do frost damage. So if you stay up here on this path, I think it's this path. Yeah, here we go. Got this item. And then this is an illusory wall. And in here, we get the crystal spear. So now we're just going to drop down and finish this thing off. And straight ahead is our boss door. There's going to be kind of a couple ambushes. You see there's these snails that are hanging up on the ceiling. They'll drop down on us. And this boss, speaking of the crystalline people, this is a triple crystalline boss. So definitely going to have my summon in here with me. Definitely going to have a blunt weapon on you for this fight. And these, like most other things in Caelid, can do Scarlet Rot damage. And this will actually give me a buff. And that buff that I gave myself with my hammer, that's the Barbaric Roar. It also gives me like a charged up combo when I do the heavy, a charged heavy attack. I just got rotted, so I need to back away here and heal up. Use Flame Cleanse me to get rid of the rot. Alright, got the stun. Gonna take this one out. We'll be 2 down, 1 to go. There we go. Ow. I'm about to get rotted again. Yep. That's fine. Can heal it up. Actually, I don't need to heal it. We're good. This is not very powerful Scarlet Rot. All right, so for winning that fight, we get the Crystal Torrent. And we can warp out of here. And I'm going to rest at this site of grace to get rid of my rot. And I don't think we have nearly enough to level up. But that's fine. Where is the site of grace? I didn't think it was this far in here. There it is. Anyhow, I'm going to put my regular weapon back on. If I can find it. There it is. And we'll heal up, get rid of the Scarlet Rot. And ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much done with the lower level of Caelid. Pretty much all this stuff. All we have left is this section here, which is Redmane Castle. And then this is where we fight. We're going to fight the boss. So what we have left is this upper section of Caelid, which, as I've mentioned before, the difficulty level is much higher in the upper section than the lower section. It just is what it is, but we are definitely, we've already gone through all of the Altus Plateau. We've already gone through all of Mount Gelmir and Volcano Manor, and we've done all of that. So we are more than ready for this stuff. If we had done Caelid earlier in the game, we would not be ready to do this stuff after doing the lower section of Caelid. But we're going to do this next time. Maybe we can knock it all out in one episode. Maybe not. We'll see. But then after that, we're going to head down here and take on General Don. So anyways, good fun. I'm going to advance the time to morning. We're going to wrap things up here. And I will catch you all next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. And hope y'all have a good one.